Good morning, everyone. So, to start my presentation, I would like to do a little exercise with you. I want you to think about your favorite teacher or some good teacher you had in the past. Think about their qualities, the way they teach, and why do you remember them the most? So, probably what you most remember of this teacher is not the subject they taught or maybe what they taught specifically, but how they taught it, how they approach you, how was the communication. Maybe he was fun, maybe he was engaging, and that's what I want to talk to you today. To be a good teacher, it requires some skills. It's not, as I said, it's not only about explaining a topic. So, there is some skills really important, and the first one that I want to talk about is communication. A good teacher needs to be understood and need to understand his audience, his students. And he needs to be understood because he needs to explain it clearly. He needs to explain the topic, and he needs to show he knows about what he's talking about. But he also needs to understand his students, his audience. He needs to hear them, listen to them. He can do this by asking questions, by listening to the non-verbal communication, like their emotions, like their expressions, or their reactions. And this is really important for our second skill, adaptability. When the teachers understand their audience, the teacher can adapt their approach to better fit the way his audience learn. So, for example, children will understand the topic in a different way, and the teenagers or adults, and it's also important to be able to adapt your teaching, because many times a teacher can prepare something, can prepare what he's going to talk about, all the words he's going to say, but when he comes to the class or to the audience, maybe he sees something completely different. The audience is tired, the audience is not paying attention, so he needs to be able to adapt according to their needs in that time. And that brings us to our last important skill in teaching, that is the engagement. I think this is one of the most important of them, because this is so powerful to teach even people that is not paying attention, people who maybe doesn't even care about the topic we were talking about. So you need to capture their attention. You need to make the presentation something they can relate, something personal. By applying the other two skills, by communicating, by listening, understand them, adapting to their needs, you can then be more capable of being personal with each one of the students. Maybe some student is confused, is tired, maybe he doesn't understand the topic. So we apply this communication, this empathy to the students to understand. We focus on the student. Our focus needs to be the student, the audience. This way, they can feel it more comfortable to ask questions, to express themselves, and and they show more interest in the classes. So remember this: when you are teaching a class, when you are presenting something, you need to understand your audience. You need to understand what they are feeling and how they learn. So applying this, we're gonna really teach you effectively. Thank you.